Alright. Shalom. First and foremost, can I say, Kalim Yahweh Shemel Shah, and double honor to the elders and apostles of your millstone, the door rule, and teach well. Young brother here, Shemashwan, Ban Yehuda, and I'll be speaking on Isaiah 21, and I'll just get into the first two verses just for today, and I'll come back tomorrow. The burden of the desert of the sea, as will the ones in the south pass through, so it cometh from the desert, from a terrible land. When you look into that word desert in Hebrew, it can also mean wilderness. Essentially, Babylon is the wilderness of the seas, because you have different canals and stuff, lakes that are all across that region. Remember, Babylon is a part of the Fertile Crescent. It's a fertile land right there. And, I think it's the Euphrates that passes through it. If I'm not mistaken, I thought I read something that said the Euphrates passes through it, but we'll look at a map in a second, because we have to talk about this, right? As will winds in the south pass through it, so it cometh from the desert, from a terrible land, right? And that, from the desert, from a terrible land, is talking about, from the south, is talking about Persia and Media, which is literally in the southeast. Alright, so you look here, you have Neo-Babylonia, and you see here Babylon is to the Babylon is crossed over by the Euphrates River, like I said. And pretty much, that Fertile Crescent essentially is right there. It passes right through it. And then pretty much to the south, if you want to say, from all the land that they owned, you have Persia, which would eventually be conquered by Cyrus, and everything would start from there. So pretty much past the Persian Gulf, all the way to Persia. Right. Verse 2, a grievous vision is declared unto me. The treacherous dealer dealeth treacherously, and the spoiler spoileth. Go up, O Elam, besiege, O Media, all the sighing thereof, and have made to cease. Okay, and that's what Babylon has done. Babylon, they're known for that, going around spoiling different nations. They were a very tough, powerful nation. You just remember what they did to us. They spoiled our temple, they looted us. They were a straight up robber nation, just on a big scale, right? Which all nations technically, are robber nations. Some more so than others. Like, we didn't have raiding parties and we weren't doing stuff like that, but we just did what Yahweh Shemel Shai, what us to, essentially, what I see here, right? Go up, O Elam, besiege, O Media, all the sighing thereof have I made to cease. So this is a prophecy, because Isaiah was pretty much around the time when Assyria was rising up as the world power, and pretty much, he prophesied of the northern kingdom getting taken down, and I'm pretty sure the northern kingdom gets taken down, within the book of Isaiah. But I haven't read all of Isaiah yet, and I'm working on it. Verse 3, therefore my loins filled with pain, pangs have taken hold upon me, as the pangs of a woman that travaileth. I was bowed down at the hearing of it. I was dismayed at the seeing of it, right? At the seeing of this prophecy of Babylon, pretty much being taken over, which, got taken over by the Persian and Medes. Pretty much in a surgical strike, one fell swoop. And that's like Daniel 5 or 6, like the whole thing, the writing on the wall, things like that. Belshazzar, look that up for yourself. My heart panted, fearfulness affrighted me. The night of my pleasure hath he turned into fear unto me, right? Because he's seeing this nation, he's seeing far into the future. He's like, wow, so it would make anyone fearful, like nowadays is different for us, we're around, we're in the midst of prophecy, we see these things go forth, so it's nothing surprising when brothers have visions of, civil war, rioting, because we can already see that kind of coming to pass already, There's been all kinds of riots and protests in these last 2 or 3 years, so, more so 2 years. Prepare the table, watch in the watchtower, eat, drink, right, you princes, and anoint the shield, right, anoint just means to grab your shields, get your shield, choose your shields. But thus saith the Lord said unto me, go set a watchman, let him declare what he seeth. Talking about Babylon, and he saw a chariot with a couple of horsemen, a chariot of asses, and a chariot of camels, and he hearkened diligently with much heed. And he cried, a lion, my lord. I stand continually upon the watch in the daytime, and I'm set in my ward whole nights. So the Dead Sea Scrolls, Syriac version, Masoretic text, reads a lion. I don't know why, but it's pretty much in the point of view of a Babylonian watchman. It's poetry. And behold, here cometh the chariot of men with a couple horsemen, and he said, Babylon is fallen, all the graven images of her God. He hath broken to the ground. Alright. All my threshing in the corn of my fall, which I have heard of the Lord of hosts, the God of Israel, have I declared unto you. So pretty much, this chariot is not talking about a chariot as in, a chariot as we know with angels in it. This is talking about an actual chariot, because that's what happened. The Persians pretty much, the Medes and the Persians pretty much come in force, take over the city. And there was no fight for that city, for Babylon. They pretty much just gave it up. I do believe there was a series of battles around Babylon that they lost. I remember reading something like that, but the taking of Babylon was taken in one fell swoop by Darius the Mede. And that's pretty much it. This is all talking about ancient Babylon. Sally's Bible Handbook, so we see what they say. Page 296. Babylon, verse 1 to 10, surrounded by a vast system of dikes and canals, like a city in the sea. This is a graphic announcement of its fall. The mention of Elam and Media, verse 2, points to a capture by Cyrus. Right, so that's pretty much it, and I'll come back tomorrow, talk about it a little bit more. Shalom.